Hi everyone, good afternoon from lovely Vienna. It's a beautiful day here, it's sun is shining. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Making It in Austria. I'm your host, my name is Adela Mehjanic, and today I have a great pleasure to introduce you to our next guest, Tanja Sovic. Tanja, welcome to our channel.
Thank you very much, Adela, and thank you very much for the invitation.
My pleasure, and I'm sure that we are going to get very much inspired by your story. So I definitely, and of course, for sure, our viewers as well. Let's start with who's Tanja. So what is that Tanja would like to tell us, or what we have to remember after this interview?
Okay, it's a long story. So I will start, I think I will start from the beginning. So I was born in Maglaj. It's a small city in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Population approximately 25,000 citizens. And before the Bosnian War started, Maglaj was very unique because more than 1/3 of its married couples were made up of mixed ethnic groups, so like my family. So in May 1992, I was 13, so the war was beginning. So I remember I went to the school, and our teacher said, so the school will be closing, and we will get our school certificate, and we will have holidays. So I was like, oh my God, it's very strange. So I went home, and at home, my parents have been waiting. It was also unusual because normally they came after work, after my school. So they have been waiting, and they told my sister and me, so we should pack our things, pack a suitcase immediately, because we will go to Austria and stay there for 2 weeks until the situation gets better. So I was like, wow. So it's holidays, no school anymore, 2 weeks Austria, perfect. So we left with 2 suitcases without saying goodbye to anyone, because we thought we will come back approximately 2 or 3 weeks later. But now we stayed in Austria for 29 years. So when we came to Austria, we came to Carinthia, is a southern part of Austria. And at the beginning, we stayed in a weekend house of a business partner of my father. Then at the beginning, so we obtained also refugee status for approximately half a year. And then the hard time began. So because back then in Bosnia, we had a very good life. So my father was vice president of a big paper and pulp company with, I think, 4,500 employees. My mother worked at a pharmacy. So in Austria, they had to start from level 0. So so they have been very lucky to find a job. And they had several jobs that didn't match their qualifications, but still they have been lucky to find a job. And especially we have been very lucky because we could escape from the war zone. So as I already said, I was 13 years old. And at that time, I didn't speak neither German nor English. So when I started going to the high school in Völkermatt, my school director, Miss Chenjik, said I had to catch up 3 years English classes during this year. And my sister, she had to catch 6 years English classes. So it was very challenging. And she said to us she will do her best to support it. And she did it. She did it together with other teachers. It's, for example, my German teacher, Professor Kreuter, Professor Kolmanich, Professor Mikloj. So I could now tell you many, many names people who supported us and who did a great job. And maybe compared to the people that came to Vienna, in Vienna we have lots of people from Bosnia, from Croatia, from Serbia. So I think it was easier because you could speak to these people. In my high school, we have been only 4 foreign persons. So which means you have somehow to start speaking German. So at the beginning, it was very hard. I remember the school started in the morning at, I think, 8 a.m. Until 1 p.m. And then I had every day afternoon classes in the school. So they were amazing people who supported these afternoon or sponsored these afternoon classes. The teachers helped us with our homework. So every day we stayed there maybe until 5 or 6 p.m. And then after that, I had private classes, English and German, 4 times a week, which means I stayed, it took until 8 p.m. And then when I came home late in the evening, I had to continue learning until late in the night. So almost every day, my day started at 6, 7 in the morning and ended at 2 in the night. So I think it was the hardest and I think also the most emotional time in my life. But at some point you have to decide, do you want to give up or do you want to continue trying? So my parents have been very, very supportive. So they gave up so many things so we could have a good education. And with the good education, you can do really a lot in Austria. So what can I tell to the people that want to come to Austria or maybe other countries? Maybe also you have to be aware that there are people who have fear of what is different, that who are not very happy that you're in their country. But you have to stay strong. So because they are always another people, they are amazing people who are willing to help and to support you. I'm very thankful to all my teachers, neighbors, and friends who helped us. And it's very, very important to learn not to give up, because you have hard times, but you have to learn the language. And when you learn the language and when you master it, everything gets easier. So I can promise you. So after high school, I moved to Graz and studied chemical engineering at Graz University of Technology. I did my diploma thesis. And after my diploma thesis, I still didn't have citizenship, which means after diploma thesis, I got a message that I have to find a job in 3 months. And if I don't find a job, I will be sent back after 10 years being here. So I was thinking, why not staying at the university? So I continued with my PhD thesis. And after 2.5, 3 years, I finished it. And then I was thinking, should I start searching for a job? And then I thought, no. So I need a break. And then I decided I want to go backpacking to Southeast Asia, but I need money. So I started postdoc, also in Graz, but only for 3 months. So I wanted to earn the money and I wanted to travel around. So I went to I went to Thailand. And everything was new for me. It was for me the first time being in Asia. So it was new culture, new food. a wonderful experience. And after 3 months, when I came back to Graz, I decided that I need a bigger city. So I tried to find a job in Vienna. And I was also lucky because I had several job offers. So with the technical background, it was easy to find a job. I think also today it's easier to find a job if you have technical background. So I decided to work at TU Wien, Vienna University of Technology, and I intended to work there for 1.5 years, and afterwards to continue traveling because I liked it very much. But now, after 14 years, I'm still at TU Wien. And why is it like this? So I have a great job, wonderful colleagues. Our vice rector for research and innovation, Professor Fröhlich, is very much supporting what we are doing. And so the whole rectorate, Professor Seidler and the whole team, they are doing their best to develop, to make the university better and to support the researcher and the staff that is working there. So I started as a patent and license manager at the Research and Transfer Support Division. And after a few years, I was deputy head of the department, and now I'm leading a team that is responsible for patenting and licensing of TU Wien's inventions. So I think that's a very short story.
I could listen it for hours. I'm just like, what's next? What's next? Out of curiosity, Tanja, how did you survive this pandemic without traveling? Since you mentioned, you're passionate about traveling. So how did you went through this?
It was very hard at the beginning, but I was very thankful because in February last year, I had a CISAM meeting. This is Association of Technical Universities. I had this meeting in Lisbon, in Portugal. So I think I came back from Portugal 4 or 5 days before the first lockdown. And it was great because I could see their people. I could also on weekends travel a little bit. So it was okay, but I had I'm playing piano, for example. So I decided to learn new things. So in lockdown, it was this video conferencing was new for me. So not new, but doing everything online or virtually, it was new. Then I started learning new languages. I started learning to play new music on my piano. So I started to do lots of sports. So it was never boring. So actually, somehow, I don't know why, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was not able to travel, but yeah, I found new interests, and I think it's important to learn new things. And so there are plenty of things we don't know, and we could learn. So
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, but I am sure you're looking forward to the next traveling opportunity.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yes.
With all the skills that you now have, and the languages that you have learned, it's time to spread the wings and travel.
Yeah, but I traveled after the first lockdown. I traveled around Austria. So Austria has beautiful places in summer, for example, for hiking. I did paragliding. So there are plenty of things you can do in Austria. And also I managed in summer to go to Greece, Greece islands. So it's okay for me.
Great.
It was a good year.
You're a great ambassador of Austria and Austria's beauties. So thank you for sharing that. Tanja, how does your daily business day look like? So what is that what is that you do? If you can summarize it briefly for our viewers.
Yeah, maybe so to describe what we are doing. So the task of research and transfer support is to support researchers and institutes in their activities related to know-how transfer from TU Wien to the industry and to the society. So together with my team, I'm responsible for the inventions from researcher from TU Wien. And how does it look like? So when we receive invention disclosure, we start with the assessment process. So based on the nature of its science, each invention is assigned to a licensing specialist according to industry sector. And we have maximum 3 months to decide if TU Wien wants to claim the rights on this invention. That means we start with evaluation process. We do prior art search, we do market search, and in the end, we have an impression on invention, on this technology, potential market, scientific team, legal bindings, and then we can advise our vice rector for research and innovation to claim the rights on the invention or not. And then if we decide to go on, we start with the patenting process, and as soon as the patent application is filed, we'll begin the commercialization phase, which means we sit again with inventors and discuss what do they need. Do they know companies to contact? Should we support them to find a company? Do they need a prototype? If they need a prototype funding, so we are looking, we are trying to find funding for them. To summarize it, we try to find commercialization partner for these patented technologies. So that's
full hands, so many things to do, and I see that you really much enjoy doing that.
I do. Yeah.
Awesome to see people that really love their jobs, and you can feel that energy even through this virtual world.
Yeah, because I worked as a scientist. Yeah. But I wanted to have more, so I didn't want to stay at to be specialized in one area. So this job is perfect because we get inventions from civil engineering, physics, chemical engineering, everything. So you are always in contact with these newest technologies. So it's really, really great.
Perfect. Now, pivoting to one of my favorite topics is networking and mentoring as well. So tell us your secret, Tanja. So how do you build your network here in Austria, internationally, privately, and as well business-wise?
Yeah. So networking is extremely important. I would say go to the events, attend the conferences. It's important not to be shy and to start talking to people. And I think it's also very important to get them better, because you can know 500 people and not know anything about them. It's important to get deeper, to have good contacts. So I remember my first conference of the LESI. This is Licensing Executive Society International. It's an association I'm a member of. And the first time I was alone, and when I came there, I didn't know anyone, and all participants, they have been standing in small groups. So it was obvious that they knew each other, and I was alone. So I went to one group, asked them if I may join them. We start talking, they introduced me to other participants. We exchange our business cards, the same like we're doing at every conference. But I think what's important, I wrote down all the most important facts about these persons on each business card, like the name of the children they have, the name of the partner or of a dog, because you hear different stories. And the next time when I met these people, I started asking them these personal things. How is your partner and the name of the partner doing? And they have been impressed, so they remembered me. And so after some time, I was asked if I want to be in one of their committees. And so everything began. So at the moment, for example, I'm co-chairing a task force called LESI Innovation Trends, together with two other guys from France and from Philippines. And there are so many intelligent people in this task force working on different topics, and they are coming from all over the world. So our network is expanding more and more. And this knowledge transfer is also getting bigger, and consequently, this knowledge is traveling around the globe. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. You can talk and start talking and asking questions. So I think networking is essential skill for your career and also for your personal success.
Definitely. And I love your tip with the business card and creating side notes, because it's a powerful tip, and I love what you said, that it's always about getting to know this person behind the title, and the title, the position, that they are really into it. It's creating these deeper relationships, and it can be 5 people or 10 people. So it's not about, as you said, 500 cards, and that's a success, but it's really about connecting with people on a deeper level.
Yeah, that's true.
And how about mentoring, Tanja? Have you had some mentors during your career, or maybe you're yourself a mentor nowadays?
I had lots of mentors. So which means when I learned German, when I learned language, and when German and English, so I had a mentor. So I continued with the private classes. So it was very helpful, and I think it's the most important thing. It's to manage the language. So it's the language you can communicate in another ways. Then during my work, when I got a team, and my team has really great characters, but different characters, and it's very, very important to know how to deal with each character. So I did also some coachings. I had a coach who helped me also to see how to work with so many different people in a team and still find the red line, and so that we can work very well as a team. So yeah, that was important. And mentoring from the other side, so I gave I had some webinars and interviews regarding the things that I'm doing, but I am open to new things.
Yeah. Happy to hear. So if I see
Yeah,
some communities looking for mentors, I'm happy to recommend you as well.
of course.
Anything else, Tanya, that any other tip that you would like to give to people who are considering to move to Austria that we haven't mentioned before?
So I think it's very important to respect the culture and respect the mentality. Because if you come to Austria or any other countries, or if you are doing business with people from these countries, so I would say learn a little bit about the country. Learn at the beginning, learn few words that you can use. Respect their traditions, and try to get to know them. Because everybody is different, and I think it's very important to get to know people better.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how they are thinking, and then you know how you can approach them and how you can talk to them. At the beginning, I I made lots of mistakes because I was very straightforward. I told directly what I mean and what I like and what I don't like. And I had lots of situations where, yeah, it was not very good and it was not very helpful. So I had to learn. I had to learn how to communicate better. So maybe this is one key message. And the other is stay strong. So there will be several obstacles in your life, and obstacles when you come here. So work hard and don't give up, because it's worth it.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yes.
And maybe sorry, maybe the third one is so that it's what I'm always thinking is train your brain. So never stop learning.
Yeah.
Which means if you come here, so don't try to professionalize only in your field of expertise. Try to expand your horizon, learn completely different new things, and someday they will be helpful. So
Thank you for your tips, Tanya. I'm sure our viewers will appreciate it. And as you said, the cultural differences, it's good to know. So it's very important to know. So to communicate, Tanya and I come from Bosnia and Herzegovina, so it's a very straightforward communication. And it's good to know. So when you're in a new country, that you don't make bad impression, or that you don't lose a deal, or offend someone, because it's a different culture. So it's good to know, always good to know, and always good to learn new things. Tanya, before we wrap up, any book that you would like to recommend to our viewers?
okay, at the moment I'm reading, so I prepared it for you, Coincidence Makers. This book is from a writer and software developer from Israel, Yoav Blum. And I'm not sure if there's a category named for such kind of books. Somehow it's a mix of fiction, real life. I don't know. So this is the one. When I have time, I am reading a travel book, Argentina. Because it's one of the places I would like to visit next when the whole corona situation gets under control. And one book that I'm actually reading now for approximately a year or longer, it's this one, The Color of Time. It's a history book. So, it's a history book, and there are like more than 100 years of history summarized. But this work was done together with an artist, Brazil artist, Marina Amaral, and she took all the historic black and white pictures and digitally transformed them in full color images. So it's very nice book to read. if you have time.
Yeah, the colors of time. No, that was the book. Yeah,
The color of time. Yeah.
I will definitely link it to this video. So for our viewers, if they would like to get hands on that book and those books that you're reading. Thank you, Tanja, for being our guest today. It was a great pleasure to have you and to listen to your story. As I said, I could stay with you for hours. It's truly inspiring, and thank you for being so open with us and sharing those moments with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It was a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And thank you all to our viewers. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe, like, comment, and if you have someone that you would like to recommend as our next guest, please share in the comment section or send me a message via LinkedIn. I'm always looking for great guests for our show. So thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.